Chapter 1: Lost in the Wilderness. The sun had just begun its descent in the vast expanse of the wilderness, casting a golden hue over the dense forest. In this wild realm, where survival was a constant struggle, two unlikely companions found themselves in a precarious situation. Mia, a small, timid rabbit with soft brown fur, and Max, a sturdy but clumsy raccoon with a mischievous gleam in his eyes, had ventured deep into the forest in search of food. As they hopped and scurried through the underbrush, Mia's nose twitched with anticipation. The scent of succulent berries wafted through the air, enticing her taste buds. Max, on the other hand, couldn't resist the allure of the shimmering river that wound its way through the heart of the wilderness. With excitement and hunger guiding him, the duo continued deeper into the forest, unaware of the path they were treading. The dense foliage and twisted vines soon obscured their way back, leaving them disoriented and lost. Mia's heart thudded in her chest as she realized they were far from the cozy burrow. She turned to Max, her eyes wide with fear. "Max, I think we're lost. We should have paid more attention to where we were going." Max scratched his head with a mischievous grin. "Oh, come on, Mia. Lost is just an adventure waiting to happen. Besides, I can find our way back. I have an impeccable sense of direction," he boasted, puffing out his chest. Mia sighed, her anxiety mounting. She knew Max's overconfidence often got them into trouble, but she had no choice but to trust him. "All right, Max. Lead the way then, but please be careful." As Max took the lead, his tail held high like a compass needle, they navigated through the dense forest. Shadows grew longer, and a cool evening breeze rustled the leaves overhead, adding an eerie ambience to their predicament. Despite his confident facade, Max couldn't shake off the nagging feeling that they were venturing further away from their familiar surroundings. Suddenly, a piercing howl shattered the stillness of the forest, causing both Mia and Max to freeze in their tracks. Their fur stood on end, and their hearts pounded in unison. The chilling cry belonged to a pack of wolves, fierce predators that roamed these woods. Mia's voice trembled as she whispered, "Max, what do we do now? Wolves are dangerous." Max's eyes darted around, searching for any signs of the approaching danger. He whispered back, trying to hide his growing panic, "We need to find shelter, Mia. Somewhere safe, somewhere they can't reach us." Frantically, they scurried through the undergrowth, their senses heightened by the imminent threat. Max's sharp eyes spotted a hollowed-out tree trunk nearby. "There," he exclaimed, relief washing over him. "That old tree should provide us with some cover." They dashed towards the tree, Mia squeezing herself into the narrow opening while Max followed suit, his larger frame making it a tight fit. They nestled deep within the hollow, hearts pounding with the intensity of their fear. Outside, the chorus of wolf howls grew louder, echoing through the forest like a sinister melody. Mia curled into a tight ball, her small body trembling with each reverberation. Max, trying to remain brave, leaned closer to her and whispered, "Stay quiet, Mia. We need to be as still as possible." Time seemed to stretch endlessly as they huddled inside the tree trunk, the sounds of the wolves gradually fading into the distance. The night settled in, casting an inky blackness over the forest. Exhausted, the companions allowed the tense muscles to relax slightly, finding a small measure of comfort in their temporary sanctuary. But just as sleep was about to claim them, a low growl reverberated from the depths of the tree trunk. Max's eyes widened in alarm as he realized they were not alone. He turned his head slowly to face a pair of gleaming eyes in the darkness. A hungry predator had found them. Mia's breath caught in her throat as fear coursed through her veins. She clung to Max, seeking solace and protection in his presence. The predator, a sleek and cunning bobcat, glared at them with predatory intensity. With a deep, rumbling voice, the bobcat hissed, "What do we have here? Two defenseless little creatures lost in my territory. How fortunate for me." Max stepped forward, positioning himself between Mia and the menacing predator. His voice quivered with false bravado. "We mean no harm, Mr. Bobcat. We're just lost and trying to find our way home." The bobcat's eyes narrowed, its lips curling into a sinister smile. "Home, you say? This forest is my home, and you have trespassed upon it. I have no use for intruders, only for my next meal." The bobcat's gaze flickered between the two small creatures. A moment of tense silence hung in the air as the predator contemplated his options. Finally, the bobcat relaxed its posture, a sliver of sympathy crossing its face. "Survival is indeed a cruel game, even for those as small as you. Consider yourselves lucky this time. Leave my territory and never return." Relief washed over Mia and Max as they nodded gratefully. They wasted no time, scurrying out of the tree trunk and fleeing from the bobcat's territory. Their hearts still racing, they retreated deeper into the forest, vowing to find their way back home. As they continued their journey, the moon cast a gentle glow through the canopy above, illuminating their path. Their bond had grown stronger through the perils they had faced, and they clung to each other, finding solace in their shared determination. Little did they know that their trials had only just begun, and the wilderness held countless surprises and challenges. But with their unwavering spirit and the bond they had forged, Mia and Max were prepared to face whatever lay ahead on their quest to find their way back home.